watches that they make. And I love micro brands because of the value they bring and because of the personal touch that the founders always provide to their end customers and how they value their customers. And that is precisely what BWC does. Hi, my name is Pisharoti, and I work in the tech industry in Bangalore. My watch journey began after my 10th grade when my father bought me my first watch. It was a Timex. It was a gift for me after completing my 10th standard. And I was always fascinated by watches because my dad used to love watches. He had Timex, Titans, Seikos. Back in the day, the Japan movement was a big deal, and so he had a couple of them. And that's how I got quite fascinated by watches at a very young age. And for me, watches should always tell a story. One of my dear friends used to always say or joke that, hey, when you wear a watch, it should jump out of your sleeve and say, "What's up?" and add your favorite adjective in front of that. But for me, it's not about that, but it's about the story it says. And every watch that I have, and I have watches from Casio to Timexes to Tags to Rolexes, but each of those watches tell a story. And for me, that's the critical piece. It needs to tell a story. It needs to be a conversation piece, and that's how I stumbled upon Bangalore Watch Company and the watches that they make. And I love micro brands because of the value they bring and because of the personal touch that the founders always provide to their end customers and how they value their customers. And that is precisely what BWC does, and that's why I love them. And as a matter of fact, I do have a couple of BWC watches, and the first one that I love to talk about and I love a lot is this one from the Renaissance collection. This is a stainless steel with rose gold hands and indices. Lovely watch, and the story of the watch is what connected me to it. Being from Bangalore and also being fascinated by HMT, which is a company from Bangalore, and having lived for the last 17, 18 years here, when Bangalore Watch Company came about and this was their first watch, and when I saw what was on the offer, I definitely wanted to grab one of them, and that's how I bought this watch. And I must say, whether it's it's for the office or whether it's a festive occasion at home, I always wear this watch because this particular watch is numbered 1 out of 500. So I'm grateful to be the lucky one to have got the first ever watch that came out of Bangalore Watch Company, and I keep saying that this is something that will stay in my family for years to come and will be passed on to the next generation for sure. And that is why this watch is truly special. The other watch that is my favorite BWC watch, and something that I wear the most as a daily use, sometimes as a beater, is my BWC Mach 1X, which is this watch. And this one is truly special because what I felt was that the story about the MiG-21 and connecting that story to a watch coming out completely from India was a big deal for me, because I grew up in a cantonment area very close to a military base, an air force base. I've seen these planes fly on, fly out, fly in, the MiGs and the Sukhois. And as luck would have it, once I moved to Bangalore 15 16 years back. Ever since I've been in Bangalore, I've been living next to HAL, which is the company that does all the testing, produces a lot of aeronautics related equipment, and is also next to a Air Force airport. So that's the area I've been living in. I've been seeing these MiGs and Sukhois kind of doing the sorties every time I look out of the window. And a watch coming out of Bangalore, connecting to the MiG 21 specifically, was a great deal for me. And I knew that absolutely I wanted to get one. And this one's quite special because it is one of 21 limited edition, and the dial, as you all know, is made out of a metal sheet that was derived out of an actual MiG-21 plane. So truly, special. My third and most recent BWC acquisition is the Apogee. It's this one, and this one's pretty unique, as it's vintage inspired. It's a little different shape. I don't have any other watch that kind of looks like this or feels like this. So it's my first full titanium watch. I've always wanted to have something in titanium. It's really light, and I'd say this particular dial, which is the meteorite dial, is quite special. What I really liked about it is how light reflects over it. So when you see it under artificial light inside the house, it has a different kind of reflection. And during the day, when you're outside, the reflection is quite different. And that's primarily because it's made out of a meteorite, and it's a kind of a natural material. So it kind of reacts or reflects light in a very different way. And that's pretty cool, I thought. And secondly, one very interesting thing for me, or actually two interesting things in this watch are, one, the rotating bezel, but inside the watch, so which I think is a very unique mechanism, and not so easy to make. And a derivative of that is the fact that it can do a dual time. In my job, I do travel a lot internationally, and this watch I'm looking forward to wearing during those trips, because it can keep a dual time. Again, a beautiful piece. Every time I've worn this, it has grabbed attention, and the shape is unique, the dial is unique, and it always helps to start a conversation, and that's why I absolutely love this piece. Last but not the least, one thing that I absolutely love about BWC watches is the value that it provides, in terms of the materials used, the movement used, the finishing, the quality of the product, total value for money. The other piece of it is the people, the founders. Huge credit to them for what they've built. It's one thing to have an idea, it's another thing to have a vision with that idea, but it's a completely different story to build and execute on that idea and build a business around it. And I think huge credit to the founders, the employees of BWC for what they've achieved in the last few years, and I kind of wish them all the very best in the future. And I'm looking forward to the next few pieces that come out from BWC. Thank you.